Welcome to Famora. Don't forget to subscribe for more shocking family drama and jaw-dropping stories. Are you sure you want to wear that? My sister's voice sliced through the quiet buzz of the bridal suite. I froze, the pearl-studded veil trembling in my hands. I like it, I said softly, tugging at the dress. She smirked, circling me like a predator. It's interesting. Very bold. Not exactly what I imagined for someone marrying James. I forced a smile, trying not to let her words sting. It's my choice, Emily. I want to feel like me today. Oh, I know, she said, her tone dripping with faux sweetness. You always have to be different. Always the center of attention, even when it's not deserved. I looked away, feeling a pang of panic. My best friend Lily squeezed my hand. Don't let her get to you. You look beautiful. Thanks, I whispered, grateful for her support. But Emily's eyes didn't leave me. Just remember everyone's watching. Don't trip, okay? The ceremony hall was dazzling. Candles flickered along the aisle. Flowers lined every edge. James stood at the altar, smiling nervously, and my heart fluttered. I should have been happy. Instead, Emily appeared at the front row, arms crossed, lips pressed into a thin line. She whispered something to our mother, who laughed. A cold shiver ran down my spine. Here comes the bride, the officiant announced. I walked slowly, head high, trying to ignore the whispers. But Emily's voice cut through. Oh, look at her dress. I didn't know she could actually pull that off. A few relatives chuckled. Another voice muttered, bold choice. For her anyway. I felt my cheeks heat. I gripped James's arm as we reached the altar. He leaned down. Ignore them. I only see you. I'm trying, I murmured, but my sister's laughter echoed in my ears. During the vows, my mind kept returning to that smirk, the way she whispered behind her hand. Every word I spoke seemed swallowed by her presence, her glares. By the time we exchanged rings, I felt a hollow ache in my chest. After the ceremony, as photographers clicked away, Emily leaned close to me, her perfume sharp and overpowering. You really thought anyone would care about your choices? She hissed. You're so predictable. James will realize it soon enough. Emily, I snapped, my voice shaking. Why are you doing this? Why ruin my day? She laughed softly like I'd asked a ridiculous question. I'm not ruining it, I'm reminding everyone of the truth. You've always been overrated. Tears stung my eyes. Not just from embarrassment, but from betrayal. I had trusted her, shared secrets, childhood moments, dreams, and now here she was, turning everyone against me without a second thought. Can we go? James whispered, placing a hand over mine. I nodded, swallowing hard. Later, during the reception, I tried to smile, to greet relatives, to enjoy the food, but every comment felt tainted. She looks stressed, someone whispered. Poor thing, her sister's relentless. I laughed weakly, but inside, heartbreak churned. How had Emily become this person? The sister I thought I knew, who teased me, yes, but loved me, was gone. Replaced with envy, malice, and cruelty masked as concern. By the end of the night, after toasts, dancing, and fake smiles, I found a quiet corner. Lily joined me, handing me a glass of water. You did amazing, she said softly. Don't let her ruin your memories. This day is yours, I nodded, taking a deep breath. I know, but it hurts. She's always been jealous, I guess. I just didn't think it would show like this. Not today. Some truths show themselves at the worst times, Lily said, resting a hand on my shoulder. But I promise you'll get through it. I let myself finally sit down, closing my eyes. The laughter, the whispers, the betrayal, all of it settled in my chest like a heavy stone. But beneath the pain, a spark began to flicker, a quiet, simmering determination. Tomorrow, things would be different. I couldn't change today, but I could control what came next, and I would. I shut the door to my bedroom and let it click behind me, the sound final, like the end of something I'd never get back. I sank onto the bed, staring at the floor, reliving every humiliation from the wedding. She's relentless, I muttered to myself, voice cracking. How could she? Do that in front of everyone? Lily's voice came through my phone. Hey, I just got home. Can I come over? I hesitated. I don't know, Lily. I just want to be alone. You don't have to be alone. Not like this, she insisted. I saw what happened. You don't deserve any of it. I ran my fingers through my hair. Deserve it? Maybe I never deserved her love. Or my family's respect. Maybe I was naive to think it mattered. You're not naive, she said softly. You're human. You love too much, maybe. But that's not a weakness. Not for you, I let out a shaky laugh. Easy for you to say. You didn't have a sister whispering poison behind your back all night. I know it hurts, she admitted. But you can't let her words, her actions define you. I can't help it, I whispered. Every laugh, every smirk. I feel it in my chest, like a knife twisting deeper. And everyone saw it. Everyone thinks Don't finish that sentence, Lily interrupted firmly. You are more than one moment, one day, one cruel person's jealousy. You are strong. Her words were like water on dry earth, soothing but not enough to make the pain vanish. I hugged my knees to my chest. Strong? I feel like I'm crumbling. I keep replaying it. That look on her face when she whispered. That little laugh that everyone heard. I can't stop hearing it. Breathe, she said. You're allowed to feel this. But you're not powerless. You never were, I closed my eyes. A memory surfaced. Emily as a child, pouting when I got attention for something she wanted. I remembered pretending not to notice, trying to be patient, trying to protect our bond. And now it felt like a lifetime of patience had been wasted. She's always been jealous, I said quietly, almost to myself, and I never saw it clearly. I thought it was just teasing, just rivalry. But it's more, it's hate. Then don't ignore it, Lily said firmly. Acknowledge it, use it, not for hurting yourself, but for moving forward. You have options, even if it doesn't feel like it now. I swallowed hard, heart heavy. Option like what? She humiliated me in front of everyone. She stole my happiness in a single day. What can I do? A knock sounded at the door. My mentor, Mr. Donovan, stepped inside without waiting for an invitation. I heard what happened, he said. Mind if I sit? I nodded mutely. He lowered himself onto the chair near my bed, eyes kind but sharp. I can see the pain on you. It's raw, and betrayal cuts deep. But sometimes betrayal teaches us our strength. Strength? I laughed bitterly. I feel weak, invisible. Stupid for trusting her. Not invisible, he said. Not stupid. You've survived the worst of her venom in one day. That's resilience. That's the beginning of your power. I looked at him confused. Power? How is humiliation power? Not now, he said. But soon. Watch and learn. Not just from the pain she caused you, but from what you'll choose to do next. Revenge doesn't need to be loud. Sometimes the quietest steps are the deadliest. His words planted a seed I hadn't realized was growing in my chest. A seed of determination, of strategy. A thought flickered. What if I could turn all this? All her envy, all her cruelty, against her? I don't know if I can, I admitted. I don't even know where to start. You start by surviving today, he said. Then tomorrow, you think. And the day after that, you act. But you will act, and I will help you see the path. I sank back against the pillows, staring at the ceiling. Tears threatened again, but a different feeling surged beneath them. Not just sorrow, but focus. A quiet, simmering determination. Lily squeezed my hand again. See, you're already starting. You're not alone in this. Not now, not ever, I nodded. Okay. I'll try. But I swear, one day she'll realize what she did, and she won't be laughing. I thought the wedding drama had ended, but when I opened my laptop the next morning, panic hit me like a punch to the stomach. Emails from the honeymoon agency were marked urgent. Emily did what? I whispered, scrolling frantically. Lily's voice buzzed through the phone. I don't know, I saw the messages. She canceled reservations, called the hotel pretending to be you. It's all messed up. I felt my stomach twist. She tried to ruin our honeymoon? How? Why? Jealousy, Lily said bluntly. And maybe she enjoys control. You know her? I pressed my hands to my face. I trusted her. Every moment of my wedding. And now this. She's still interfering. She hasn't stopped. A knock at the door startled me. The wedding planner, Mara, poked her head in. I'm sorry to intrude, but I noticed some unusual changes in your honeymoon plans. Thought you should know before anything else happens. Thanks, Mara, I said, my voice shaking. I didn't see this coming. Someone changed our bookings, pretended to be me. Do you know who? Mara hesitated. It's subtle. Could be anyone with access to the wedding information. But given your sister's behavior, I wouldn't rule her out. I sank into the chair, gripping my phone. Emily, of course. She's always trying to one-up me, humiliate me, make me feel small. But I thought today was mine, Lily spoke softly. It's still yours. You just have to fight for it. Fight? I laughed bitterly. She's been underhanded my whole life. And now, she's trying to poison everything else around me. I think she's got an ally, Mara added, lowering her voice. I saw her whispering to someone at the reception, another woman. They were taking notes, checking the guest list. I don't know who she is, but she's helping. I froze. She has someone else? Yes, I don't know her name, but she's not subtle. Watch carefully. She's organized, precise. Dangerous, if I may say so. I bit my lip. Emily always had to make everything a performance. Now she's trying to control more than just the wedding. She's trying to rewrite reality to suit her jealousy. You're not powerless, Lily reminded me. You survived the wedding humiliation. You can survive too. I leaned back, eyes narrowing. I won't just survive. I won't let her control my life. Every step, every plan she's made, I'll reverse it, quietly, carefully. Mara raised an eyebrow. That sounds complicated and risky. I know, I admitted. But the alternative? Letting her walk over me again? I can't, I won't. I need to think ahead, anticipate her moves. And yes, I might have to play the long game. Lily's voice softened. I'm here, remember? Every step. You don't have to do it alone. I exhaled slowly. Thank you, Lily. You don't know how much that means. I pulled out a notebook, jotting down names, dates, and suspicious interactions. Emily's patterns, the whispers, the smirks, the tiny gestures that showed her intent. Every detail became a piece of a puzzle I never thought I'd need to solve. She's meticulous, I muttered, tapping a pen against the page. Careful, calculated. Every move meant to destabilize me. But I can be just as careful. I can outmaneuver her. Lily's tone turned serious. Don't let the anger cloud your judgment. Use it, yes, but stay precise. I will, I promised, feeling a surge of determination. I can't let her win. Not this time. She spent years undermining me, and now she's pushing her luck. Mara nodded. Keep evidence, stay organized, and don't confront her yet. You don't want to give her the satisfaction. I won't, I said, voice firm. I'll act when it counts. And when I do, she won't see it coming. I stared at the ceiling, heart pounding. Betrayal like this wasn't just emotional anymore. It was strategic. My sister wasn't content with hurting my feelings. She wanted to control my life. And for the first time, I understood the depth of her envy, the lengths she would go to. But anger alone wouldn't be enough. I needed precision, patience, and a plan. And slowly, like a spark catching fire, I felt the first threads of my own strategy forming. She thinks she owns the game, I whispered to myself. But I'm learning the rules, and soon it'll be my turn to play. Lily's voice came again, quiet but steady. And when it is, you'll win. I know it. I smiled faintly, feeling a strange mix of fear and exhilaration. The betrayal cut deep, yes, but it also awakened something else. Something sharp, deliberate, unstoppable. I would reclaim control, one move at a time. I sat at my kitchen table, laptop open, staring at a list of Emily's assets. My hands shook slightly, half from anger, half from fear. Are you really going to do this? Lily's voice floated through the phone. I have to, I said, not taking my eyes off the screen. Confronting her won't work. She's too careful, too manipulative. If I move quietly, I can regain control without giving her the satisfaction. You're serious, she whispered. You're planning revenge? I hesitated, biting my lip. It's not revenge yet. It's strategy. She spent years trying to control me. I can't let her do that anymore. You're careful, right? Lily asked, her tone tight. I don't want you getting hurt. I'll be careful, I promised. I need help, though. Someone who understands finances, legal loopholes, someone smart. There was a pause. I might know someone, Lily said slowly. My cousin, Mr. Hayes. He's a legal advisor and financial consultant. Discreet, trustworthy. He helped me with family stuff before. I leaned back, considering. Do you think he'd help me? Only if you ask, she said. And only if you're honest about the situation. You need someone who can see every angle before Emily notices. I sighed, running my fingers through my hair. Okay, set up a meeting. I need to know her vulnerabilities, her mansion, her finances. Everything. If I play this right, I can turn her own arrogance against her. That's intense, Lily said quietly. Are you sure you're ready? I have to be, I said more firmly than I felt. She's been underestimating me my whole life. Today, I start changing that. An hour later, Mr. Hayes arrived at my apartment. Tall, precise, and calm, he shook my hand with a firm grip. So, he said, you want to reclaim some control over your sister? Yes, I admitted, but quietly. I don't want confrontation yet. I need strategy, not drama. Good, he said, pulling out a notebook. Most people come to me after acting rashly. You're starting at the right place. Give me everything you know, finances, properties, past disputes, anything. I listed her assets, her mansion, her bank accounts, small investments she thought were secret. Every detail mattered, I see, Mr. Hayes murmured, nodding. She's meticulous, but she's also predictable in her pride. That's your leverage. Quiet moves, and she won't suspect until it's too late. That's what I want, I said, heart hammering. I don't want her to know I'm acting. I want her arrogance to blind her. You're walking a fine line, he warned. There's morality here. You have to balance it. Justice, yes, but don't let anger lead to recklessness. I swallowed. I know. That's why I didn't go after her yesterday or today. But something has to change. I can't keep being her target. Lily squeezed my hand through the phone. You're already thinking like a strategist. That's good. Slow, deliberate steps. Don't rush. I'll start by mapping the mansion, I said, pulling out floor plans I'd found online. Security, entrances, staff. Every detail. If I understand her environment, I can anticipate her moves, even influence them. And the finances? Mr. Hayes asked. Investments, accounts, bills, anything I can legally access, I said. I need to see where she's weak, where she's vulnerable to mistakes, oversights. Pride, he nodded. Good, but remember, you're not just retaliating. You're reclaiming your life. Don't get lost in anger. Use it as fuel, not direction. I closed my eyes for a moment, imagining Emily in her mansion, smug and untouchable. That image fueled something cold and steady inside me, a determination I hadn't felt before. I can do this, I whispered. I have to. I can't let her continue controlling my life. Quiet, precise. And when the time comes, she'll realize she underestimated me. Mr. Hayes smiled faintly. That's the spirit. Plan carefully, act subtly, and you'll change the game without her seeing it coming. I opened my laptop again, scrolling through the mansion layout, bank records, and legal documents. Each detail, each discovery, added to the plan forming in my mind. The betrayal had cut deep, but now it was sharpening me. I could feel the power shift already beginning, small, silent, unstoppable. I'm ready, I said, more to myself than anyone. Ready to take control, and finally prove she can't touch me anymore. I've got the contact, Lily whispered as she slid a small envelope across the table. The cafe hummed around us, but her voice felt like the only sound that mattered. You did? I leaned forward, pulse quick. Who is it? His name is Omar. He used to work with Mr. Hayes. Discreet, efficient. He can help with background checks and quiet inquiries. I need someone like that. Someone who won't make scenes. He won't. He wants a clean job. No drama. Send him a message. Tell him to start with the mansion staff. Find out who reports directly to Emily, payroll missteps, anything. Don't just look for weakness, Lily said. Look for loyalty. Someone Emily underestimates. Like Mrs. Kapoor, I said. She smiled at me the wedding night, then vanished when Emily walked by. When Omar called, his voice was calm. I can access payroll, but you'll need a reason. A vendor check, something routine. I can do it professionally. Keep it legal, I told him. No traps. It will take time, he said. You sure you want to move quietly? The slow path risks patience. I prefer slow and clean over loud and messy, I said. Time felt both like threat and promise. Patience felt like surrender sometimes. At Mr. Hayes's office, he pointed to highlighted lines. An uncleared transfer, irregular invoices. Small but consistent. Can we use it? I asked, the question raw. Legally, yes. We can issue notices and place temporary holds if necessary. It looks like standard procedure, not a vendetta. A lien would force her to address it, I said. Yes, he replied. She'd have to admit issues publicly or lose control. I don't want to drag anyone into ruin, I said. Just balance, accountability, Mr. Hayes studied me. That's where you draw the line. Keep things proportional. Later, Omar reported back. There's a night accountant who handles the ledgers. He leaves late, seems strained. He mentioned the mansion's new contractor has payments pending. Could he be bribed to keep quiet? I asked. No, Omar said. But he might be pushed toward honesty if the pressure is right. People fold under exposure. Expose, not destroy, I corrected. We give them room to correct, he hesitated. Understood. I called Mrs. Kapoor under the pretense of a friendly check-in. Do you remember any odd invoices? There was a man with tired eyes, she said. He forgot a file once, I asked. He said he was overworked. Did he complain about unpaid vendors? Sometimes. But I am old, Beta. I only notice shadows. Even shadows help, I said gently. As documents flowed, small things happened. A supplier called refusing to process a rush order. A gardener complained of late pay. A security guard mentioned a missing petty cash receipt. Each call was a pinprick. Emily's composure started to crack. She's reacting, Rahul whispered at a family lunch, watching her across the room. She's always proud, but now she seems raw. Good, I said. One afternoon, Omar met me in the parking lot. There's a gap in bookkeeping. The accountant altered dates on a few invoices. Not proof of fraud, but sloppy enough to warrant questioning. Can we trigger that questioning? I asked. Yes. A vendor dispute will prompt a review. If the accountant is involved, he'll have to explain. Do it, I told him. Carefully, I felt sick as the plan moved. Every small victory was a moral test. I told myself again, expose truth, not malice. At night, I couldn't sleep. The betrayal rolled through my mind like waves. I kept seeing Emily's face as she whispered in the church, so precise, so practiced. I remembered our childhood, shared dresses, scraped knees, secrets whispered at midnight. How had it become war? You okay? Lily's call woke me. You sound hollow. I am hollow, I said honestly. But focused. Don't lose yourself, she warned. This could change you. I know. I inhaled. I hope it changes me into someone better, not worse. Weeks became a rhythm of small legal nudges, quiet inquiries, and patient waiting. Vendors wrote polite letters. Payroll audits were scheduled. A collection notice found its way to Emily's mailbox. The mansion staff whispered, then grew silent when the management office called. One morning, Emily cornered me in the corridor after prayers. Her eyes were dark. You started this, she said. I started nothing, I replied. I asked questions. You built the answers. You think law will topple me? She spat. No, I said softly. But consequences will make you face choices. She stepped closer. I trusted you once. And I trusted you, I said. Then you chose humiliation over love. She laughed harshly. Love? Spare me. The exchange left me cold and oddly clean. I was no longer simply wounded. I was a strategist. Yet every time I closed my eyes, I feared the line between justice and cruelty. Lily texted, "Small wins." Be careful. I typed, "I will." When it ends, you'll see why I had to do it. The plan unfolded. Quiet, legal, slow. Each small victory hummed like a warning bell and a promise. I was changing the game, becoming harder and a little distant. "This is for my peace," I whispered, "and for the girl who believed in family. Always." I watched Emily from the corner of the cafe, pretending to scroll through my phone. Her eyes flickered nervously, darting between her phone and the staff serving her table. Something had shifted. Subtle, almost imperceptible, but it thrilled me and made my chest tighten with guilt, maybe? Or satisfaction. Notice something? Lily whispered beside me. Everything, I said quietly. She's off balance. Even small things, like her lunch orders arriving late, vendors not answering calls. It's working, Lily smirked. Slow karma is sweeter than instant revenge, I smiled faintly. It feels surreal. She's meticulous, always in control. And now she's fumbling. Later that week, Omar called. Payroll discrepancies corrected themselves after a minor inquiry. Some staff, key personnel, are starting to ask questions about management. They're loyal to you, quietly, because you're consistent and fair. I exhaled. I didn't expect gratitude. But it makes sense. She underestimates how respect builds silently. Emily will notice, Omar said, and panic more. At home, I spread out new reports, canceled contracts, delayed shipments, emails showing mismanaged vendors. Emily's carefully constructed facade was cracking. Everything she built, slowly unraveling, I whispered. Every empire has weak points, Mr. Hayes said over our call. You're exposing them methodically, legally. She won't know who to blame. I felt a pang of guilt. Part of me hates that I enjoy this. Enjoyment is natural, he replied. This is karmic balance, not malice. Keep perspective. Emily tried to confront me once, in a crowded family brunch. Her voice was sharp, but her usual confidence faltered. You're behind this, aren't you? She hissed, leaning close. I don't need to be behind it, I said calmly. Truth and consequences are enough. You're the one who mismanaged trust. You'll regret this, she spat. Mark my words. Perhaps, I replied evenly. But you'll face it either way. I'm just present. She glared at me, then stormed out. My chest tightened, guilt and triumph mingling. Even her allies were shifting. Minor relatives, who had always leaned toward Emily, now whispered to me instead. Their eyes hinted they had seen her arrogance, and my quiet persistence drew their trust. Lily nudged my arm. You feel powerful, don't you? I do, I admitted. But I also feel unhollow. Like I'm walking a fine line between justice and satisfaction. Each small victory is a spark, but it lights something inside me I can't ignore. One evening, Omar met me in the office parking lot. The accountant made a serious error last week. Contracts were delayed, payments misdirected. Emily had to intervene personally. She's scrambling now. Scrambling, I murmured, imagining her pacing the mansion, frantically making calls. She won't know why. That's perfect. But don't let this consume you, Omar cautioned. It's effective, but the goal is control, not destruction. I nodded, swallowing hard. I know, but it feels good watching her stumble after everything she did to me. The social fallout was subtle but effective. Invitations she sent went unanswered. Her usual network seemed distracted, her presence questioned. I received discreet messages of support from people who once treated me as invisible. People notice authenticity, Lily said. And you've always had it. She never did. I see that now, I admitted. And it hurts. And heals. Emily's tension peaked during a high-profile family dinner. I stayed quiet, letting the whispers and glances play out around her. One cousin leaned over and muttered, Is it me or has she lost her usual edge? She's flustered, another added, shaking their head. Something's off, I swallowed, suppressing a smile. Each small disruption, the canceled shipments, the loyal staff, the unnoticed errors, was like a note in a song of karmic justice. Later that night, I texted Lily, "It's working." She's off balance. But I feel uneasy about liking it. Her reply was immediate. "It's natural. You're reclaiming your life. Don't confuse justice with cruelty." I leaned back, reflecting. Every small victory felt symbolic. Vendors hesitated to take her calls, staff followed instructions from me, minor relatives sought my guidance over hers. Karma was unfolding slowly, like a tide pulling her off balance while leaving me afloat. The guilt nagged me, though. Each time I saw her flinch, a shadow of doubt lingered. Was I becoming like her? Or was this truly justice? I whispered to myself, staring at the ceiling. It's not about me being cruel. It's about her facing reality. The reality she ignored when she humiliated me. And beneath the uncertainty, beneath the guilt, there was clarity. My patience. My careful planning, my focus. It was turning the tide. Emily's reign, her arrogance, her calculated malice. They were meeting their consequences. The night closed around me, quiet except for the soft hum of the city. A new sense of empowerment coursed through my veins, tempered by caution and reflection. Karma was in motion, deliberate, quiet, and unstoppable. I stood outside the mansion for the first time, heart hammering. Emily's absence was perfect timing. Business crises, staff confusion, social backlash. She was tangled in a web she couldn't untangle. And I had the key. Are you sure about this? Lily whispered over the phone. I am, I said, voice steady despite the adrenaline. I'm not here to confront her, just to reclaim what she's taken control of. You're calm, she remarked. I thought you'd be shaking. I've been patient, I replied. Every step has been calculated. If I falter now, I ruin everything. I turned the key and entered quietly, shoes barely making a sound on the polished marble floor. The silence was almost reverent, and I could feel the mansion itself shift under my presence. Emily had always treated this place as her fortress. Now, it felt like my chessboard. Everything's intact, I muttered, surveying the familiar rooms with new eyes. Just different. I'm the one moving pieces now, my phone buzzed. Omar's message, staff already loyal. They'll follow instructions quietly. No alarms, no questions. I smiled faintly. Perfect. Quiet victories are the sweetest. A soft knock sounded from the study. I opened the door to find Mrs. Kapoor, her expression a mix of concern and loyalty. Emily's not here, I said gently. I won't hurt anything. I just need her estate to run correctly. You'll oversee everything? She asked. Yes. I've learned from mistakes, hers and mine. Things will be orderly now, I assured her. She hesitated, then nodded. I trust you. Walking through the halls, I saw evidence of Emily's meticulous control. Untouched rooms, perfectly aligned furniture, framed family portraits staring down like silent judges. I paused before one. The wedding photo, her smirk cutting through my memory. I whispered to myself, that's over. Today this place is mine quietly, and justice will follow her. Lily's call interrupted my thoughts. How does it feel? She asked. Strange, I admitted. It's mine, yet empty. I expected exhilaration, but it's calm. Power feels different than I imagined. Less about revenge, more about reclaiming myself. You've changed, she said softly. You're not the same girl Emily tried to humiliate. You're strategic, I chuckled quietly. Strategic, yes. And careful, patient. Every action matters now. I feel empowered, like I finally understand myself. From the living room, Omar's message popped up. Vendor issues resolved, finances balanced, security systems updated. Staff fully compliant. All silent, good, I whispered. Everything's in place, and she won't suspect until it's too late. The mansion felt alive under my footsteps. Small victories accumulated. Staff who once feared her now followed me. Contracts were adjusted, bills paid on time. Minor crises resolved before Emily could intervene. Karma had been set in motion, and now it moved silently, invisibly. With me as the conductor, a text from Lily made me smile. Karma does the talking. You just move the pieces. Exactly. I wandered into the kitchen, remembering how Emily used to sneer at my attempts to help. How she'd humiliate me for small mistakes, laugh at my sincerity. Now the tables had turned, and yet, it didn't feel like victory in the way I imagined. It felt like balance. Emily underestimated me, I murmured, and she forgot one thing. I'm persistent, careful. I learn quickly. And patience. Patience is everything. I stood by the grand window looking out over the estate. The sun dipped low, casting long shadows across the gardens. For the first time, I felt fully in control. Not of her power, but of myself. Lily's voice came again. Don't lose yourself in this. Remember why you started. I haven't, I said, letting a deep breath escape. I started because I was hurt, humiliated, powerless. Now I'm not powerless, and this is me reclaiming control without cruelty, just strategy and patience. A soft chime from my phone. A report from Mr. Hayes. All accounts balanced, mansion secure, minor relatives satisfied. Every piece of the puzzle fell into place. I allowed myself a small smile. The mansion was mine to manage, but more than that, my confidence, my patience, my ability to turn betrayal into empowerment, that was mine forever. Quiet victories, I whispered to myself. Patience and precision. That's how I survive. That's how I win. The mansion hummed with the silent rhythm of my control, a dramatic reversal without confrontation. Emily would soon feel the ripple of her actions. And when she did, karma would speak louder than I ever could. I heard the front door slam, sharp and angry. My chest tightened, not from fear, but anticipation. Emily was back, and she had finally noticed. You! Her voice echoed through the hall, a mixture of rage and disbelief. I looked up from the ledger I was reviewing. Hello, Emily. My tone was calm, measured. What have you done? She demanded, pacing. Why are staff answering to you? Why is the mansion running differently? This isn't possible. I didn't do anything dramatic, I said, letting the words hang. Just ensured things run smoothly. You seemed distracted. Her hands trembled as she gestured wildly. Distracted? You think you can just take over my life while I was handling everything? You left cracks, I said softly. Small mistakes, ignored responsibilities. I only filled them. Quietly, legally, strategically. Her face paled. Filled them? What do you mean? I stood, walking slowly toward her. I mean, you built chaos where there should have been order. You humiliated me, underestimated me, and ignored the truth of what you were doing. I corrected it without confrontation, without cruelty. I let the consequences speak for themselves. Emily's eyes widened. You planned this? All of it? My vendors, my staff, my finances? I observed, I waited, I acted where necessary, I said. Every small disruption you experienced, every panic you felt, it's a reflection of your own choices. Her hands fell to her sides, trembling. This isn't fair. Fairness isn't the point, I replied quietly. It's accountability. I gave you space to correct your mistakes. You ignored it. You chose humiliation over respect, control over honesty. Now, you're learning the hard way. She started, then faltered. Words failed her. For the first time in years, Emily was silent. No smirk, no sharp remark. Just the weight of her own misjudgment pressing down. I paused, letting the silence linger. I'm not here to punish you, Emily. I'm here to show you that actions have consequences. You underestimated me, humiliated me, tried to control my life. And now you face the results of your choices. Her lips quivered. I didn't think I'd have to, I said. But when you ignore the impact of your actions, you leave people no choice but to respond. I chose strategy over anger, patience over confrontation. That's the difference between us. Emily's eyes filled with tears, not just from anger, but from regret. I was wrong, she whispered. I didn't realize. You didn't realize for years, I said softly. But now you see. And maybe that will change you. Maybe it will teach you humility and respect. Or maybe you'll repeat the mistakes. That's your choice. She sank into a chair, covering her face. I didn't move closer. I didn't need to. The lesson was already seared into the silence, into the calm precision of the mansion now under steady management. You're so different, she finally said, voice shaky. You weren't like this before. I've grown, I replied. I've learned patience, observation, strategy. I've learned to channel heartbreak into focus instead of fury. And I've learned that true power isn't taken by force. It's claimed quietly, deliberately. Emily sniffled, her pride crumbling. I should have listened. I should have treated you differently. Perhaps, I said. But you didn't. So now, you live with what follows. No cruelty from me, no spectacle. Just consequences you created for yourself. She bowed her head, the weight of humiliation sinking in. Not loud, not explosive, just the quiet, inescapable understanding that she had misjudged me for years. That her envy and arrogance had left her powerless. I felt a strange mix of satisfaction and sorrow. Satisfaction because justice had quietly unfolded. Sorrow because empathy lingered. She had once been my sister, and now, she was learning hard lessons the slow way. You've changed everything, she whispered, almost to herself. I haven't changed everything, I said. I've only reclaimed my life, my space, my dignity. You still have the choice to rebuild or to continue down the same path. The rest is up to you. She looked at me, a flicker of vulnerability and awe in her eyes. I smiled faintly, not with triumph, but with the calm certainty of someone who had survived betrayal, heartbreak, and humiliation, and had transformed into an empowered strategist. For the first time in years, I felt fully in control, not through force, but through patience, precision, and silent justice. I walked through the mansion early that morning, sunlight spilling across polished floors, illuminating the life I had quietly reclaimed. Every detail felt different now, not just the furniture, the rooms, or the staff, but the air itself. I had changed. Lily's call came, cheerful as always. Morning, strategist. How's the Empire? I laughed softly. Peaceful. Ordered. Mine, but different than I imagined. Not a victory of anger, but of patience. You sound happy, she said, a note of surprise in her voice. I am, I admitted. For the first time in years, I feel whole. The humiliation, the heartbreak, the envy, they taught me resilience. They taught me strategy. And they taught me to value my own strength. Omar popped in shortly after, holding a stack of neatly organized financial reports. Everything's balanced, staff loyal, vendors satisfied, legally spotless. Good, I said, smiling faintly. It's about control, not cruelty. I wanted order, not chaos. He nodded. And you achieved that, quietly, strategically. I wandered into the living room, pausing at a framed family photo, the wedding picture, Emily's smirk now just a memory. I whispered, that chapter is over. Quiet karma, silent justice, nothing more needed. Mrs. Kapoor knocked softly and entered. You've done well, she said. I never doubted you. Thank you, I replied. I've learned patience, observation, and the power of quiet action. Not everything needs confrontation. Some lessons are better felt than shouted. She smiled, eyes warm. And you've inspired me too. Even I doubted if anyone could reclaim balance in this family, but you did it. Later, I spoke with Lily and Rahul over coffee. It feels strange, I confessed. I expected rage, exhilaration, maybe even emptiness. Instead, there's calm, confidence, peace. I'm different. You've grown, Lily said. From someone who was hurt and humiliated to someone who commands respect without showing force. That's rare, Rahul nodded. And strategic. You took heartbreak, betrayal, and envy and turned it into empowerment. That's the real victory. I thought of Emily, not with anger but with understanding. She had been my sister, my rival, my teacher. Her arrogance, envy, and manipulation were harsh lessons, but they were necessary for my growth. I whispered quietly, "Maybe one day you'll understand. But that's not my responsibility. I only control myself now." I paused in the garden, breathing in the morning air. The mansion hummed around me, alive under my careful watch. Every small victory, every quiet shift, had led to this moment. Karma had done its work. Justice had unfolded subtly, without cruelty. And I had reclaimed not just a house, but my life. Lily's message popped up. "You've changed the game." "What's next?" I typed back slowly. "Living, breathing, thriving, healing. Peace is next." The mansion was mine, yes, but more importantly, I had reclaimed confidence, dignity, and inner peace. I had survived heartbreak and humiliation. I had endured betrayal and envy. And now, I had learned to channel all of it into silent, strategic strength. I glanced at the family portraits, this time seeing them as symbols of growth rather than judgment. I could forgive quietly, move forward without resentment. The past had shaped me, but it no longer controlled me. As the sun climbed higher, I smiled and whispered, "This is rebirth, my second chance at life, my journey from victim to strategist, from hurt to empowered, and it feels right." Have you ever turned heartbreak into strength? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more family drama stories. See you in the next video.